Welcome in, everyone. Welcome to Pastime Picks Podcast. I'm Keith, Vintage Sport Flips.
I'm Andy, I'm King of Pennants.
Here we go. That's his name. Welcome in, everyone. So this week we're going to draft our favorite 90s comedy sitcom TV shows. We decided we're going to do sports one week and then alternate to 9 sports. Next week we're going to be back to sports, drafting our favorite or the best sports-related tirades, player, coaches. Right, Andy?
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good one.
That's gonna be a good one.
There's some Philly specific tirades I feel like that are
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of Philly related ones. And I think what we're gonna do is rather than play clips, which is always a bit of an issue, copyright, I think we were gonna try to reenact the tirade, maybe.
Oh, are we? I don't know.
We'll talk about it.
That sounds like a horrible idea, but so yeah.
I don't think it's a horrible idea.
Yeah. But yeah, this should be a good one. I have the 90s kind of limits you a little bit, which is good. I feel like you can get it's just too much if it's open to the too wide of a spectrum. So I think it'll be a good one. I mean, there's like there's some really it's top heavy. It's a top heavy draft. I feel like there's a lot of good first round picks. Not you get a little. Where you make your money is at the end of the draft, but it's a little tough. I feel like it's a little tough at the end.
Well, it's been tough for you for 5 weeks now, right? Since we're, I think the record for me is 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie. And so I'm hoping you can, I'm not hoping you can get back on track.
One thing we know is that I will win the first pick in the draft, as I have done for I think every week now. So. I
don't know. And by the way, a second ago, quite distracted. Mrs. Flips was off on the side here dancing, and I had to throw something at her, get her stop distracting me. I should have turned the camera. Really, got her back for that.
True.
What's up, Dan?
Hey, Dan.
How's it going, man? Thank you for joining us. Great podcast today. And I don't know if you got a chance to check out the
not yet.
Pocket Change podcast. It's always a hilarious.
Yeah. No, I've watched a couple of them there. Yeah. Briefly. But yeah, I didn't get a chance to do it today yet. Well, cool. Yeah. Do you want to jump right in?
Let me get over. Let me get over to the figure out who dressed first, right? Let me get to the spinning wheel to figure that out.
Spinning
guys,
wheel.
we're gonna be. Oh no, please.
That's what
drag away the.
You can expect that if you want us to reenact anything.
That's true. It's true. So we're going to have some reseller segments sprinkled through the podcast here, which if you guys are returning viewers, you'll know that. But anyway, let me get over here.
Did you change your color? You changed your color. You were blue last time. I feel like, did you change your color? Because you
I didn't change it. It changed automatically because I put the logo in the center. I don't know how to change it. I don't know how to change it, to be honest. But let's switch it up.
All right. Bring it on. Honestly, I'm good either way this time. I win again.
Come on.
I don't know why it's got to be rigged.
I did it twice to test it out before the stream, and I won both of them.
Well, maybe you should have done that.
That's like 6 weeks in a row.
Odds are not in your favor, baby. So, okay. Wait, should we kick it off?
Oh man, I'm hoping you have a quick recovery, Mark. Sorry to hear that, but hope you're doing well. And by the way, thanks for the purchase, Mark. I was telling Andy that Mark bought a 1960s baseball mini helmet display from an eBay store that shipped out, I think, yesterday morning, I believe. So should be getting to you soon. What's up, Bartermania? Thank you for joining us. Appreciate that. And guys, we're going to be doing a giveaway. The names I see in the chat, I'm going to put it in a spinning wheel. We're going to give away a pair of vintage sealed wax packs. We got a Alf wax pack. Unfortunately, Andy, Alf falls pretty much right before the 90s, so you can't pick Alf. Maybe you can, because it went up to March 1990s. So, and then true. Batman. So that's going to go to somebody, free to somebody.
And you're lucky that, well, hopefully I'm not involved in the spinning because I basically win it every time. So
that's true, Dan. We should do that. Yeah, that's a good idea. Next show, I'll do that. I don't know. Andy somehow rigged the system.
Yeah, I have zero to do with it, my friend. So nice try. All right. Well, I'm gonna start off. My initial thought was that we could also do this potentially with like except for one show, like the best 90s shows excluding this one show, because obviously I think everybody would pick it number one overall. And this is going to crush Keith. But now that I take the first time, of course I'm going to do it. So I got to go with Seinfeld.
And the worst part is you're on the bottom of like our draft board. So it looks like I didn't pick Seinfeld first.
So I know
terrible.
You are a diehard fan, and used to videotape it, right? Back in the day.
Yeah, I had every episode on VHS back in the day, and I was just on New Year's Day. I watched. Let me type this in here. I had the Seinfeld marathon on to the point where I forgot that the bowl games were on, and I watched Seinfeld for like 12 hours on New Year's Day. And I was predicting my wife was predicting they're going to say in a second he's going to name the two horses to the parents when they're driving out to the house in the Hamptons that he never owned. It was Snoopy and Prickly Pete. Nailed them. So yeah, I know Dan's a Seinfeld episode.
It's unfortunate, Keith, that this draft doesn't come down to who likes it the most. It just comes down to who picks them. So you clearly know a lot more about it. And the good thing about this is I'm pretty sure I have Dan's vote already. I could pick no other show from here on out. From what I've heard, Dan is quite the fan.
He's a huge Seinfeld fan. What's up?
So
Dan?
anyway,
thanks for joining, man. Appreciate that. Everyone, check out Tim's channel, Over the Years Sports, and Over the Years, and Dan and the Man's channel as well.
So I do want to bring up one thing. So we had talked about this a little bit about what kind of means a show is in the 90s, right? Does it have to have one episode in the 90s? Does it have to be like the majority of the shows have to be in the 90s? And I think what we came up with is you can pick whatever you want, and it's up to the voters to decide, how much you weigh in on like the show's actual time in the 90s. Versus just being a great show that had maybe one episode on the tail end of either side. So that's Keith. What I had talked to Keith a little earlier about my 90s. It's called the 90s density quotient is what I came up with, which is essentially the percentage of shows that occurred in the 90s compared to the percentage of total shows. So Seinfeld started in 89, right? And it went through 98. So that's 9 or 10 seasons, 9 of which I think are in the 90s. So that's a 90% density quotient in the 90s. So that's an excellent score.
I mean, you're not a math genius. What is this density quotient that you're pulling out? I mean, I'm sort of impressed. I don't like to say I'm impressed by you, but
yeah,
I'm not going to admit that again.
I'm just saying it may come up again. All I'm saying is it may come up again. So
I think you already ruined my draft, to be honest.
I know. I love it. I love it.
I needed the first pick.
I love it
because I think a lot of my other picks might not be in the order of a lot of people voting.
Oh, this is great. I'm going to crush you.
Especially the draft board that shows me up top that I didn't pick Seinfeld first. We have to fix that.
That's right.
All right, I'm going to go. I think this has a strong density quotient as well.
Well, you didn't do the numbers. I know the density quotient, so I'll tell you if you're good or not.
Yeah. So this is probably not the second choice for a lot of people, but this show, I think it changed. It had a lot of more risque topics, and it was a lot
I know
more.
Where you're going with this.
There's a couple shows that could be in that direction.
I know exactly.
But I'm going to go with, you got to go with Al Bundy. You got to go with Married with Children. I mean, that show was hysterical. And I think there's other shows that other people might pick over that, but that was like a cutting edge humor for the time.
It's a very good density quotient. It has a very good density quotient.
I knew it. I was looking at 87 to 97. That's got to be pretty.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's better than Seinfeld, but that's up there.
It's not, but it's a good density quotient. I'm not going to lie. So that's a good pick. I don't think that would have been my second pick, but you also have a wraparound. So who knows? Maybe you'll steal something.
Yeah,
but
I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the wraparound too. That might be another reach.
So starting strong, guys. Starting strong.
Yeah.
Oh God, that show is so good. I mean, it's a great pick. Listen, I mean, I don't think it was it was not the best show in the 90s. I'm not even sure if it was top 5, but I love that show. It was a great show.
Oh, I mean, the favorite episode of mine was the one where he was like, they were reenacting like a football scene with I think the janitor in the high school. I don't remember the whole premise, but it was so well done. It was like artistic.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot. I feel like I always remember, I don't know why they put him in a shoe store, but like the fact that he just hated it there and he would, I mean, it was before, I mean, I guess it's before its time. No, maybe not. Maybe it was kind of in that range where you could get away with stuff. I would not work today. I can tell you that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was definitely cutting edge, and it probably, well, still, I don't know if they show it in reruns, but I don't know if they cut any episodes out. I don't think it was that bad.
No,
it's not like Archie Bunker style stuff. I mean, that was a little that wouldn't play today, but
I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting because you're right. I do see it some, but I don't know that. I mean, I don't think you would make a show that way today.
No, absolutely, yeah.
At least, I mean, at this case though, like there's no network shows anymore. Anyway, really,
very rarely, yeah. But even some of the things where they would always talk about Kelly being easy, and then the brother being a virgin, it was the whole that probably wouldn't be on there today. Thanks, Alex G. I appreciate you hopping in. I'm glad you like the podcast. And by the way, I mentioned this earlier. We're giving a giveaway. We're going to give away 2 sealed vintage non-sport wax packs. Batman, Alf. You don't have to do anything. I'm putting all the names I see in the chat in a spinning wheel. I'll announce that later in the podcast. So just if you win, just reach out to me on Instagram. But anyway, let me get to a Beatty. That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing.
I know.
Yeah, we have to fix that. Let me get over here and get to our first segment.
Sale of the week.
All right. So I think in this, Andy, do you have 2? I have 2. Right? You have 2?
I have 2, and we can do a bonus third if you.
Well, maybe we'll do that later in the episode. If we have,
right? No, absolutely.
Yeah. Let me get to my thumbnail here. My.
Okay, you're gonna kick it off.
Yeah.
Can we just talk about how good I have been in the last couple of weeks in picking this? It's really. Not only did the Seinfeld pick like really upset him, but every time that I pick the right number, it's like a little piece of him dies, and it makes me happy. It really does.
That's true. I mean, I don't understand. I taught you everything you know about memorabilia, and yet you're beating me pretty soundly on these guesses. I don't know what's going on there, but
that is correct. You might have a chance this time, so you might have a chance with mine. So, okay, do I remember you getting this? No, I don't know.
Well, yeah, this was in the garage buy, our big purchase we made. So that was I never knew it was in there until recently I uncovered it. So
okay, I should
tell you what this is, right?
That's sure that's part of it.
So this is a large like 13 by 13 Eagles football helmet plaque. This is all plastic. These were made in like a half of a real helmet or a vacuum form helmet. This is a vacuum form helmet, so it's not a real helmet on the plaque. And this helmet dates from 69 to 73, so early 70s on this one. Probably like 13 inches square.
Okay, so you said late 60s, early 70s? I'm sorry, I kind of tuned you out there.
Yes, 69 to 73. 69 to 73. And guys, the chat, feel free to guess as well. Andy needs some help, or maybe he doesn't.
Yeah, no, feel free.
He likes to help.
Yeah, I always like some answers or some. I think I have an idea, but I'm not 100% sure because I kind of felt like, and maybe this isn't what you sold it for, but I kind of remember you talking about it at one point, maybe 155 from Mark. I think, honestly, Mark, I think that's a little high. If I had to guess, I think we're going to be under $100 on this piece. So and maybe I'm wrong. I just for some reason a number sticks out. BD I think is closer to what I'm thinking. For some reason a number sticks out of $40, but I'm going to go 45 just to give me a little wiggle room because it may have been higher than I thought.
All right, let me see. We got 155 in the guesses. Tim is with 129.99.
I could have undershot. I don't know.
Let me get over here and figure this out.
It's a tough one.
So what was your guess, Andy, again?
45.
45. All right, let me get to the answer here. Sorry, I was distracted. I was trying to pull up Mark's purchase because I don't have that image up yet, but I'll try to get to that. Let's see.
It's good. It's a good sign, boys. If he has to do the math on it, it's clearly. And look at that face. It's not.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Damn.
So that is not a win. Not a win there, sir. Let me get to the other tab.
Oh boy, I was so wrong. Oh wow,
yeah, you're pretty wrong. Pretty wrong.
Mark crushed it. All right, did
yeah, those are good guesses. Yeah, Mark 155. That was strong. Tim was darn close as well. So yeah, Mark nailed it. Andy,
I must be thinking of something else. I must be thinking of something. That's right. Well, if you're gonna lose, you got to lose big. That's what I.
You did. You did. Good job.
I went
mission accomplished.
Or small. All right.
No, Mark didn't buy it. Mark bought something else. So yeah,
I was just messing around.
No, Dan said it in the chat. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go to mine.
Okay, I did get Mark's item up too, so I can do that. Let me get this. All right, good.
Okay. So you remember this, of course, right? This is one of the things that we got out of the garage.
Yeah, same purchase as the Eagles, please. This is 1970s decanter Ezra Brooks. Is that like a bourbon? What is that?
It's a bourbon decanter. Yep.
Yeah, Maryland. Not a great school. First, I mean, I know. So
it's not ET, Dan. Yeah, it's a Maryland Terrapin. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, that's your safety school for a lot of people. So I'm only saying that.
Actually, my safety school was College of Textiles and Sciences.
Oh, get that out of here! Come on. I'm saying that because that's Andy's alma mater over there.
It is. Yeah,
and Philadelphia. Jefferson University now, Andy. That's my.
Is it right? I mean, they changed it like 15 times.
They did, yeah.
Because they have a bad name.
Twice since I went. And then,
was it like Philadelphia College or something?
When I was there, Philadelphia College of Textiles and Sciences.
And then wasn't it just Philadelphia College or no?
Philadelphia University, Jefferson University. So which is where it is now. But I really say I went to Penn. That's it's whatever. Okay. But this is a cool piece. So
yeah, it is. Definitely.
Let's see. I've had these, and I think I have one on my eBay store too. It's like a Wake Forest or some sort of it's like a wheat shocker. What is that one?
You're talking about Wichita or something?
Yeah, maybe it's Wichita State. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess $65. $65 on this guy.
Let me see. Sorry, I just got to do a little bit of looking here.
It does look like a Ninja Turtle piece, yeah. And these are like porcelain. They're pretty big, right, Andy? What is that, like about 9 inches tall?
Yeah. I mean, it's probably that. Yeah, it's probably a little under that.
And I'm sorry, Tim. I didn't mean to badmouth your team there. I was badmouthing Andy's school, but I actually like Maryland. I hung out there a little bit when Andy was there.
All right, here we go.
Wait, you hit the wrong one. Is that a winning guess for me?
No, it's a winning guess for me. It's a losing for you. So.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Okay.
I guess I hit the wrong one, but
yeah, that's okay. Well, so I lost. All right.
You lost. So let me show you what it sold for.
Oh wow, that's strong. Yeah, I didn't. I think I put mine up for a lot less than that, but I guess. Unless you're rarer than others.
Unlike your guess, it was a very strong number. Yeah.
Yeah. I think actually we're almost identical where we went with how bad our guesses were.
We both were bad on that one. But yeah, no, that was we actually had it up for $299 and somebody made an offer. They may have even made an offer for less and we countered at $150, I think. But yeah, there was a couple numbers up there. So
that's good.
Yeah, well, they're not all prom queens though. I can tell you that. Or some of them are pretty bad. They occasionally sell pretty well though. But all right.
I'm going to have a bonus one here. I will show what Mark Hoyle bought from me this week. So let me get over here.
Oh, is this? Well, I'm not gonna.
You can guess. Yeah, you can guess. I don't have like the share screen that has the sale price, but I can figure that out. So this is what Mark bought. It was a box. It doesn't have the stand, but it would have all these mini American League baseball caps. I think this is from 1969. They made these in football and baseball. You don't see them too often.
Oh, that's cool. That's the Yeah, I don't know. I mean, those little toys in the box, I feel like do pretty well. I mean, I can't think it went. It's not like hundreds of dollars, I would think. So I would guess yeah, Mark, I think you might have a good idea of what it's sold for.
Yeah.
But, I would guess like 35. Am I close on that?
35. Let me do some quick math in my head.
You took my one chance at happiness and crushed it into little tiny bite-sized pieces.
Oh, geez. No.
Yeah, that was a losing guess. So yeah, it was $60.
Oh, okay.
$60. Yeah. So it's a rare piece. Yeah, we're gonna be on the lookout.
It's hard to tell the shape too, so it's like it looks like it's in good shape though. So
yeah,
I'm sure that matters a lot.
But Andy, and you took some of the garage stuff. So if this didn't come out of the garage, but it came out of the same collection. If you find that white stand, set that aside. I told him we'd be on the lookout for that.
Yep, we'll do.
Yeah,
not a problem. All right. Did you want to put another one up for you, or do you want me to go again?
Go again.
Okay.
Yeah, go again.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, the box is definitely the rare part for that. I've never seen the box before.
I know. Believe me, it's the worst. But it actually did sell this week.
Can I play this? How long can I play that? I'll take that off. We have a 70s Cowboys pennant.
2-bar, right?
Yep, 2-bar. Looks like it may be a little felt loss on the left side potentially there. They're a front-running, bandwagoning fan base, so they're probably buying pretty well right now, I think. Which I think a lot of fan bases are. I'm not really mocking the Cowboys, although I do like to do that. So let's see. What I think this, I would say $29.99.
Okay.
We have Dan guess 50.
Any other guesses?
I mean, I know for this kind of thing, I can price it up on like in my Etsy store. I would put it up for more, but on eBay, I'd see it bringing a little bit less. I think we're getting some strong guesses here, though. We got 50 from Dan. Mark had $64.99. MNOP guessed $39.99. And by the way, Andy, MNOP won the giveaway last week, so hopefully that's if it didn't get there yet, it's on its way. I know he's in Canada, so probably not a quick route to get there.
All right, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
So here's the problem with this too, because your 10% window. I mean, you guessed close, right? You guessed 29. It sold for 25. So, but 10% of that is 27.50. I mean, like you have to be spot on with that.
The lower the number, the tighter the range. Yeah,
there's no room for window. So
pretty much I nailed that though. I would say I nailed that.
Close enough. I'll give you but you still lost. So.
No, I'll take the loss. Yeah, that's I'll take the L. All right, let me run through one more here, and then and we have that bonus one, and then we'll do this one because I know. Have you got one yet today, Andy? No, right? I don't think so.
Well, no, not yet. I'm coming around that. I feel like
this one might be more in your wheelhouse.
You got a little pennant for me? A little pennant action?
I do have a pennant action. This is an interesting one. If I can find the image, why is it? I hate how they get all disorganized in the tab menu. This So what this pennant is, Andy, it's a 1910 era Chicago pennant. Now, let me give you a close up because this pennant's interesting.
Is this oversized? What size on that? I feel like this is a big pennant, right?
Good question. I don't know the answer to that. I'm going to say like 31 inches.
How am I expected to?
31 inches. So here's the close up. Yeah. This pennant always sort of baffled me a bit. So
that's horrifying.
It is a horrifying graphic, right? And I think it's
oh damn, that's tough.
I don't know if it's a football player. Yeah. I like that, Dan. I like that. So I don't know if it's a football player because he's wearing shin guards. If you can see Andy on on his legs, have shin guards on. But but he doesn't have like a football jersey on. It looks like a baseball style jacket.
Yeah.
So I don't really know if he's a baseball or football player. But
he also appears to have a severe facial injury. Or...
Yeah, he's definitely not an attractive fellow. And the other interesting thing is you never see this, but this is a Spalding brand pennant.
Interesting.
I bought a big group of Spalding pennants in the past, but they're very rare, very high end pennants. The color scheme of this, it makes it tough to tell too, because usually it would be University of Chicago, but it's not the right color.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's University of Chicago. Could it be Cubs? Could it be White Sox? I don't really know what it is, but yeah. So that's where I'm leaving you with that one.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Just because you don't know exactly what it is doesn't mean that somebody from University of Chicago won't buy it and say it's from Chicago, right? So I feel like you got that going for you too. Or if it's Chicago Cubs. I kind of agree on this. I mean, I think there's a bit of a limit on some of these pennants. I know some of the rarest football pennants from, like the 40s and 50s, I guess, maybe mostly 50s, I guess, or maybe a little older, really can sell in the thousands. But I don't think this is, even though this is pretty old, I don't think it's going to sell for that much, or not as much as that. I'm guessing it's going to be kind of in the lower hundreds range. So
anyway, we have a $139.99 guess from Mark. BD came in at $230. MNOP at $179 to help you out there.
Okay. I think those are good guesses. I actually think those might be a little low. Not too far off. I think BD's probably pretty close. I'm going to go. I'm actually going to go. It's kind of a nice round number. I'm going to go 250 though. I think that's where we're at. I think there's a potential good to have gone much higher, but I don't think it's going to go too much lower than that. I could be wrong.
With karate, I'll kick your ass.
You were close. Respectable guess. Guess. But let me give you the price here.
Yeah, I kind of thought
$99.99. Yeah, and I've had that pennant listed for a little while, but somebody did scoop it up. So I still don't know what school, if it's University of Chicago or what it is, but yeah, it's definitely a rare pennant with the Spalding tag and some sort of athletic connection to it. So
yeah, it's cool. I feel like, I mean, put it this way, you would have accepted, you would have taken 250 though, right? No.
Well, that was an Etsy sale. So that's, there's no make offer on Etsy, which is nice too. They either buy it or not. Sometimes rarely you'll have people reach out to you asking for a better price, but not too often.
All right. Well, still very cool pennant though. Where'd you get that one? Do you remember?
I have no idea, to be honest. I had that pennant for a while, so I don't know where about that.
Interesting. Yeah. Part of the group that you just randomly buy from.
It might have been. I bought a collection of like 300 pennants from another dealer in Chicago, or maybe it was Cleveland, like 10 years ago. It might have been in that buy.
Okay.
There's a lot of early stuff in that. Yeah, I don't think he probably doesn't know what it is either, Dan. But it's he might just like it because he's from Chicago or maybe University of Chicago grad.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that does, play into your you can target quite a few people with that as opposed to just being
when it's sort of a catch-all, right? Could it be this? Could it be that? You're getting a few other people getting interest in it. All right, so we're gonna wrap around with the snake draft here.
Oh boy, this is where he's gonna fall flat on his face, guys. He's good. Let me just guess on what you're thinking right now. You know what you should take, right? You know the show that you should take. But if you take that show, then you will know. Then you just know it's not in your heart. That's not the show that you really think is the third best show from the 90s. Or something.
Well, it's to me, it's going to come down to the 90s density quotient. And I'm going.
You can't use that. You can't use my numbers.
No, I'm stealing your quotient because but the quotient's going to kill me with this one because this one just comes in the 90s, just at the tail end of the 90s. But
I already know what you're saying. I already know what you're saying. But
it rivals up there with me with Seinfeld as far as like it's a show that I watch every night. Great cast. One of the best, and actually one character in the cast is in Seinfeld. One of the better characters in Seinfeld. Going King of Queens, very small density quotient,
Wow.
Yeah,
He
Jerry
went that
Stiller.
route.
Jerry Stiller, man. Jerry Stiller's like the
All
man.
right.
So I'm going King of Queens. That's up there with Seinfeld. No, it was only around for 2 years in the 90s. That's where it's going to hurt me in the eyes of the beholders here. But
yeah, your density quotient is really bad, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I hear it.
I'm gonna have some good ones at the end, but right now, I mean, listen, it's not my favorite show, but there's a clear number 2 in this draft. And he's just taking it out of spite, I think, at this point, because I took Seinfeld. He's like, I'm not going to take it. So my number 2 pick clearly is Friends. There's no question. There's no question.
I know. I mean, that's a lot of people would pick that. So if I had to choose between watching an episode of Friends or King of Queens all day long, I would choose King of Queens.
Sure.
But I like Friends. It's just not on my, I mean.
So you also have a higher density quotient that was around from 94 until 2004. So the vast majority of the shows, not the vast majority, but
I know I'm probably hurting myself in the vote here on this one. But we could just tell people it wasn't a snake draft and you picked first.
Yeah, no, I think everybody knows what happened there. But so, anyway,
the next rounds are really going to hurt me.
You're going to get crushed. So I have a couple interesting ones coming up. We'll see where I go next.
Yeah. It's a fun draft. Yeah. See, your dog there agrees with me. I don't know which dog that is, but they agree with my choice. All right. Let me get over to the segment section here.
Dan knows what he's talking about. I mean, listen.
It's early, Dan.
I get it.
Give me a chance.
I get it.
And he chokes at the end.
I get it. But you could have probably had King of Queens at the end of the draft, is what I'm saying. Like he could have been a late round pick. You got to go with your. I mean, you can't. You're bringing too much like of your.
Yeah, I'm going my heart. I'm going my heart here. Yeah,
it's not hard.
YouTube spotlight.
All right, let me get over here to the comments here. So anyway, I'm going to show you a channel here, and for people new to the channel, basically the premise here, I show Andy a YouTube channel that he hasn't seen before, and I've talked to him about this channel before. Why can I not get? What am I doing here? All right, so this channel, and let me share my screen. This is a pretty big channel, so it doesn't necessarily need my help, but one of my favorite YouTube channels, one of my favorite vintage clothing selling couples out there. Let's see there. So we got Mojo Dojo or Mojo Cashier Threads or Mojo Dojo Society. I found their channel when I first started getting into YouTube through John the Cincinnati Picker. And I was in the medical field sitting in my car at lunch because I had the only place I could take my mask off. And that's when I found that YouTube reselling even existed. And I would watch John the Cincinnati Picker at first. And I saw that he would visit the Mojo Dojo or Josh at Mojo Cashier. And they were cool people. I mean, very entertaining people. So then I found them on Whatnot. And I got into buying their, this is a Mojo Dojo NFT. They make like custom shirts. I figured for the comedy show, I did a little Robin Williams custom.
It's good. Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Yeah. So, but they do incredible stuff, and they really got me into vintage clothing in general. I would always buy vintage clothing and vintage hats, but I wouldn't wear it. But once I got into their Whatnot streams and I saw these paper thin thrash t-shirts, and he knows how I like comfortable clothing. I won't wear 90% of clothing out there.
He has like this weird thing. It's like, it has to be these specific type of shirts.
Yeah. I would wear the same shirt over and over and over again, just because if it's the right material. But I found them. I found that I could get custom stuff done that was super comfortable, and I would buy other stuff from them too. But let me show you a couple clips from there. This video they did was basically they were giving a tour of their shop. They did it like MTV Cribs style. So it's cool. Short. I did 2 clips here, but let me get over.
I liked it. It got a 90s or it got a little bit of a Miami vibe to them.
Yeah, they're the coolest people, man. They're fun. They're musicians. He's a guitarist.
Adorning all the high vaulted ceilings in this mansion are many.
Oh, glitch? Why is it glitching?
I don't know.
robes I'm buying father's house. Look at that. Leathers, the Michael Jackson logo.
Michael Jackson leather there. Yeah.
Honda Gold Wings.
Think I can pull that off?
Denim.
No.
I don't know why my
Look at this battle jacket right here on the wall. Talk about that. Look at that.
Battle jacket.
That thing is.
What is it? I've never heard of a battle jacket.
yeah, it's just cool, man. Look at that.
He's dying.
I'm a big button guy.
Right now.
Oh, I don't know why it's glitching on me, but I'll get to the other one here. Let me get.
Yeah, it might be.
He's dying.
Okay, let's see what we got.
Where are these guys located again?
Let me close this. They're in Ohio,
Okay.
Lebanon area of Ohio, and they're Range Rover fans. Andy, the Range Rover. This is funny.
Fleet of vehicles.
Oh.
Look at this. 50th edition.
What's this?
Eddie Bauer.
Whoa.
Range
Oh,
Rover, dude.
snap.
I'm telling you what, if you want cruise style, the only way to do it's a 98 Range Rover. Now, we don't like to brag, but we're gonna. You see the features? Look. Let's leave the key in it.
Brave, bold, and
Listen, let's this
brazen,
thing start.
if you will. Oh, whoa. You hear that?
Let me click. 1 second.
That's no. It seemed like you talk about them all the time. You love.
Oh, they're awesome. They're fun people, man. Yeah, and let me show you. I bought something from them this week, or maybe it was last week, but I got it this week. And they always throw in free stuff in packages. But look at that. I bought a pair of Lemonheads t-shirts. Andy knows I'm a big Lemonheads fan.
Yep.
One of the best albums of all time. It's a Shame About Ray. I think 94, maybe.
See, this is why he's picks bad.
Yeah, it's coming up in a future episode. This shirt's killer.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Lemonhead shirts are exceedingly rare. So I saw them in a video. I reached out. We worked out a deal. But every package they send you, they always send free stuff. So let me show you. So a couple things they threw in my box. They threw in some buttons, a little Pink Floyd, The Wall button. Very cool.
Yeah.
Chicago. This is right up Dan's alley. Chicago Bears 1985 photo button. But check out this, Andy. Check out this. This is I told him I couldn't accept this as a gift, so we're going to split it when I sell it. This is a 1910 football graphic, McKinley, probably McKinley High School, Kent and McKinley.
Damn.
Just threw that in my package. This is a killer. This is made by a company called the Reproduction Company. Rare pennant. I've had these like maybe 10 to 15 of these over the years, but very rare style. So I couldn't believe he threw that in as a gift. I mean, the best people. So
That's
guys,
awesome.
definitely head over to their YouTube channel, subscribe, tell them in the chat, tell them in the comments that I sent you over there, and check them out on YouTube and Dibbed It. They sell on there as well. Great people. And if you buy from them, you're going to get some cool bonus stuff in your boxes.
Very cool.
But I'm going to send him half of what that sells for when it sells.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good people.
We got Simply Shenanigans. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate that. We're doing a giveaway for a couple sealed wax packs. So I'm gonna throw your name on the if I can get these front facing the right direction. I will throw your name on the spinning wheel.
So Keith will go with me, right? You're gonna go out to Vegas to watch the Lions win the Super Bowl?
No.
No.
Oh, Roman's here. Hey, Roman.
Yeah.
How's it going?
So Roman, you'll understand. So since you just showed off your thing here, what are you wearing type of thing? First of all, wearing the Michigan Wolverines hat and the Michigan sweatshirt. Because I am boycotting the NFL this week because they completely destroyed this the easiest call you could ever make, and they completely hosed. And they're not even taking any sort of accountability for it. So I am not wearing any Detroit gear. That's the only reason I'm wearing it. Not wearing any Detroit gear this time, because boy, they won the game. There's no question. And
yeah, I mean, it was a horrible referee, isn't it? He's a horrible referee. He's had terrible calls throughout his career. I will say, I mean, we had text conversation about it. I think the Lions made some mistakes they didn't have to make, and it caused the idiot ref to make a mistake, right? I think they confused him by running three guys at him. They didn't have to try to confuse the Cowboys because they were going to announce it to the Cowboys anyway, right? So I think they tried to create a little bit of a ruse there, but it doesn't excuse the ref, obviously.
just because you do something like that, I mean, even the guys that were talking about it, like I forget, Gene Steratore or whoever it was that was talking about it, he's like, it's gamesmanship and it's totally legal to do. They didn't send, so they had 3 people out there. They sent their, all 3 of their linemen out there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not saying it's illegal for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not saying it's illegal.
But you shouldn't be penalized for doing like a smart.
No. And the other thing for Decker too, I know we don't probably get into this too much because it's probably a sore subject. But Decker, when you're watching the clip, you can see like he's talking to the ref. He's probably signaling,
yeah,
I'm eligible. But the ref is looking at number 70 and starts to walk away before Decker is really like engaging him. I think Decker had to like try to forcefully but he probably didn't want to show it off at that point. Like it's a messed up situation.
Yeah,
right?
There's a reason. Anyway, it was horrible. But
I agree.
It was a heartbreaking thing. But if you saw some of his press conference today, it was pretty hilarious. He's like, I'm hopped up on coffee and high octane from here on out. So I feel like I think they're going to be good. We'll see. I think they're going to probably smash Minnesota this week, but even if they don't need to.
Yeah, they don't need to, and they'll probably rest some guys maybe. But maybe they won't.
Doesn't sound like he wants to do that.
Yeah, who knows? But it's obviously I should be boycotting some of my Eagles gear, but I never do that. I never do that. That was one of the worst defensive performances I've seen. And
I'm not boycotting the Lions. I know
you're saying. I got you. Yeah,
that's true. It's true. All right, so we going back to our picks.
Share the screen.
Sounds good. So Keith clearly picking with his heart, me clearly picking with the mind, using the patented 90s density quotient to further instill why I. So I have a couple here. I feel like I was not expecting Friends to be there. Clearly,
yeah.
I'm gonna go with this one. Because honestly, this is probably one of the shows that I watch some of the most of. And it has a very, very high density quotient. In fact, it's got 100% density quotient. It was on from 91 to 1999. So all of the seasons were located in the 90s. It's 100% density. So that's perfect. I'm going to go with Home Improvement. Home Improvement was a great show. It's got Tim Allen. Oh, you don't like it?
That didn't even get on my top 10.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's why. But I was picking with my heart, so I appreciate it. I mean, I liked it.
It was great because it was, it's just a lot of cool stuff like about it. It had, Tim Allen was pretty, great.
You're
show.
winning Dan over again with this draft.
In addition, it didn't have a great cast, but it had Tim Allen. It had a couple of some of those younger kids that didn't amount to anything later in life. But
I don't know any of the cast other than.
But I mean, he's from Michigan, Detroit fan, and he did. It was just a cool show. It was kind of a manly show too. So it was.
It's a good show. The neighbor was, or not. It wasn't the neighbor. His
it was
Al Borland.
Yeah.
That's not his neighbor. The other guy's the neighbor. The guy who's like, I didn't like that. Like the guy you only see half his face. That was sort of hokey. I felt, but Pam Anderson was in the show. You missed that member of the cast.
She was. I can't remember briefly, if she was the first one or the. Yeah, because there were a couple of the assistants that were in it, but
yeah. I don't know. I think you're losing. I mean, I gave you a layup of leaving Friends on the board. Now, for people who came in late, Andy picked Seinfeld first. I didn't pick Married with Children first. Don't let
them lie to you.
But that's a reach. And you'll see this as a reach as well. Pretty much 99% of the people in the world. But
no, you're not doing it. You're not doing it.
I'm doing it. I'm not saving it to last. I'm doing it.
Oh no, I know what it is.
This is my favorite show.
Hey guys, get ready to be to never heard this show before.
Yeah, I'll be impressed if anyone. I'm sure they've heard of this show because it was on right before or after Married with Children. They tried to cling on to the Married with Children hype to get, and I think it worked for a lot of people. One of the greatest comedians of our time, physical comedians, Chris Elliott, in the TV show Get a Life.
Oh God.
Great show. Chris
How
Elliott.
many seasons was that? It wasn't that many. It was like 3 seasons, maybe.
I have it all in VHS in the other room still.
Of course you do.
I'm trying to get my son to watch that. He has no interest.
Yeah, nobody does. Nobody did either.
It's a tale of like a 40-year-old paper boy who lives with his parents, gets into some fun hijinks. Chris Elliott's great. Roman likes Chris Elliott.
Sure, he's funny. He was funny in his actual hit show, though.
What's that?
Schitt's Creek.
Oh no, that was a bit part. No, I mean he's in all kind of stuff. He was in another show that might make the list. I won't say it, but bit parts in that show.
He won't make my list.
He was in King of Queens. He was in
Something About Mary, right?
Yeah, Something About Mary. In the Scary Movies. Maybe it's just called The Scary Movie. I forget the name of that movie. Yeah, he's a great actor.
Roman, I don't disagree that his roles are good in some of his stuff, but he should never be given his own show. That's essentially.
Is this the one with the bunny? Now there's no bunny. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean by bunny. Do you know what he's talking about?
Yeah, it was. I don't know.
Alf, not Alf.
Scary Movie too. He wasn't that. He had the little small hand.
Yeah, he had a little hand. He's one of the greatest comedians of
no, he's not. Keith, you can't say that. You cannot say that.
He was in David Letterman show. That's where he got his start. Right, the guy under the stairs. Yeah, everyone. If people haven't checked out Get a Life, check it out on YouTube.
No reason to.
It's great. It's great.
He used to make me watch that stupid show. Like, come on, let's watch it. Let's watch the show. Oh God.
Oh, it had me hooked with the theme song too with REM. Stan. I was a huge REM fan. So yeah. There we go. It's a winning pick right there. Let's just retire that draft.
Can anybody even if you were to look at like his list, like would you even know what that is? Like,
get out of here.
People are thinking probably it's just, a list of random words.
No, it's a great list. Great list. All right, let's get to a segment. Let me get over here. So, Andy, I'm not going to be able to hear you for a second because I took my earphones off. But this was just to show you. I'm going to do a little quick deep dive into some football helmets. But I talked about it in the podcast last week. This was a helmet I would wear when I did my stroking the wings when the Eagles were on defense back in the day, which I think I need to do again based on how the defense is playing. But let me get my earphones back on so I can hear what you're saying. You might have a feeling you might be mocking me.
Well, I mean, it's not hard to, but no, I was not saying a word. I was letting you talk about stroking the wings. What you need is a new defensive coordinator, but that's fine.
No, that's not the problem. They got bigger problems than that.
So,
all right.
What year was that one? Did you say?
This is a Charles Johnson. This is probably like 2001. Gave me his helmet. Yeah.
Charles Johnson. He was a receiver from Colorado. Am I right about that?
Definitely a receiver. I think it's Colorado. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure of the school. He wasn't a great receiver.
Totally pick random facts just pop in my head sometimes.
I don't know why I did that. I still had to share a screen on. People didn't get the full effect of me in the helmet, but that's all right. But yeah, I was going to do a quick deep dive into some early leather football helmets. If anybody has interest in early football helmets, check out the video on my channel, The Evolution of Football Helmets.
It was pretty interesting. I will say it was.
I feel like that video is my Sistine Chapel in terms of YouTube content. Ton of work. And I think it came out well. Didn't get many views, but I think it might get views over time. It's what do they call that? I forget what they
slow
call
play.
No, they call that an evergreen content.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so this first helmet is a rain cap style helmet, 1910. Has a little bit of a hole in the back, but soft shell. These helmets were used only a small amount of years in the teens. I would say 1908 to 1915. So again, if you want to learn more about them, check out my video. And have a couple later helmets.
Where do you pick these up from? I mean, mostly from collectors, or do you get them from? You don't typically get them from like antique places, do you? Or I mean, like
I buy them in like Brimfield or different flea markets. The next one I bought at a flea market. This one's a 1920s fiber reinforced leather football helmet, Stahl and Dean model. And actually, I just realized when I was pulling this out to show it that I never had that helmet listed on anywhere. So I got to get that listed. And then late 1930s, early 1940s helmet. Has a very cool, like, I don't know, like rat fink style graphic on the front. This is a fiber shell. So that's a fiber shell.
I will say I wouldn't have even thought that is a football helmet.
Yeah, definitely a football helmet. So that's a quick deep dive. I mean, you can see a lot more in that video, which will take you through the evolution, why the evolution occurred with some of the rule changes that they weren't allowed to use certain style of helmets. So I figured
that was one of the few videos I could actually stomach watching all the way through.
Oh, come on. You watch all my
I'm kidding. No, I know. No, that was really good. I actually felt like I learned something at the end.
Yeah. And I think for people who are pickers, not that you're going to see that kind of stuff too much at yard sales, but you never know. So I think knowledge is power where knowledge is money when it comes to reselling.
So I will ask you a question on those. I mean, clearly, I think if people understand what they are, that you're not going to get you're not going to buy them for $5 a piece or something like that. So, I mean, what's the margin on something like that? Are you buying that thing for, 150 and selling it for 250 type of thing? Or
yeah, I think this helmet, I bought this before I had a YouTube channel. I probably paid like 80, listed it for like 250 probably. This one's a better helmet. The rain cap that I showed first, that helmet I think I have out for $1,000. I don't remember what I paid for it. It might have been like 400.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really varies depending on the model, the brand, the style, especially the style. The style is the key.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously you know your stuff too. It's funny because I've gone to a couple things with Keith, like a couple picking things, or we've gone to a couple houses and stuff before. And first of all, he just goes into, and maybe this is like a lot of you guys that do a lot of picking. Like he just goes into this zone that you cannot even talk to him. Like he's just like, it's like he's writing. It's like a perfect mind writing stuff up on the wall and like doing numbers in his head and stuff like that. And like he's just he's like, we went to that beer thing and stuff.
The estate sale, that was cool. But yeah, you're right. I do get in a zone where I'm just focused. Like that sale was so cool. There was stuff everywhere. So it was like sensory overload. So you're just like eyes are darting. I was like,
he looked like you're on drugs. He's like,
yeah. Well, you gotta be frantic because there was a lot of competition at that sale. There was other pair of guys who were buying all kind of stuff. So we did well.
But definitely.
It was a fun sale. But yeah, I definitely get like that at times. You gotta be frenetic.
Yeah. Well, you probably also, I mean, I can't imagine you would hate to do actually pick with other people. I feel like you just don't want to. You want to be completely able to flexible and not have to talk to anybody. Maybe I guess you do with your dad. Your dad knows when to stop talking. Maybe sometimes.
No. I can carry. No, it's not like that. I mean that. I pick with people a lot. My buddy out on Sundays we pick together, or my dad will. When we go to Brimfield together. Yeah. So you're welcome to pick with me. You could talk to me. I won't shun you, but
he does. It's
no, come on.
Yeah. Good luck getting a meal too, because he's
come on. Yeah, see, Andy's not used to Andy, you can say a lot of things about me. Maybe my draft board is not great for this draft, but I'm a hardworking guy when it comes to reselling. So when Andy's come up here to the Philadelphia area, I work him like a dog, man. We're working from dawn to dark, right?
It's horrible.
Yeah.
I feel anyway.
Especially when we moved into the warehouse. I mean, we worked hard.
That's a nightmare.
Oh yeah, man, for sure. I'll probably be there in May. I go to generally only in the spring. I don't go I never go in the summer. I've been a couple fall shows. So I do plan on being up there in May. Usually we go up late Monday to we come back Wednesday afternoon. But yeah, for anyone on the East Coast, if you haven't been, Brimfield's awesome. It's like acres and acres of flea markets, antique markets. I mean, there's a lot of high end stuff, but you can find some deals as well. So it's a great. Andy, you should come with me. You should. Maybe. I tried to get you to come before. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to. Yeah, we'll check it out.
Yeah. All right. Let me get back to the draft board here.
I think you're up again, right? Oh, you better finish strong, buddy. No, don't you say that, Roman. We know. Come on, we're set up for a long time right now. The draft has been very good to us in the last few years.
All right. So what do we? Let me look at my list here. So we got All right, so Home Improvement, Get a Life. Get a Life was a very strong pick.
No.
All right, yeah, there's getting tougher now. Getting tougher.
It is, right? It's getting to the bottom, actually.
Well, I mean,
not the bottom, but
I was talking this over with Mrs. Flips, and is this show a sitcom? I don't know if it is or not, but I think it has a good quotient. At least it shows lasted so long. I mean, it happened throughout the whole 90s, but it's happened a lot after that too.
Okay.
So maybe it doesn't have a great quotient. I don't know. But I'm going to go with The Simpsons.
And yes, okay.
Yeah, so The Simpsons, I mean, obviously it was throughout the whole 90s. It started in 89 through the 90s up until now. So that maybe hurts the density quotient, if that means anything.
The density quotient is very bad with this, but it was on my list, and it was probably going to be my next pick. But because I'd had such a high density quotient before, so
yeah.
No, that's good. It's a good pick. Yeah, I mean, it was started in 89 and went through the 90s and has been on for 34 or 35 seasons. So it's hard to not pick that one.
And I admittedly, I don't watch it a ton anymore. I watched it a lot in the early days when I was in high school, when that was first on, or soon after it first came on. So I watched it a lot early in its, but I've watched some after too. I just don't watch it every week or anything like that.
Here's my rationale for not picking The Simpsons earlier. I don't think it was great during the 90s. Like those seasons were not very good. Like, I don't think that was the best part of the season. Like, The Simpsons got better probably in the 2000s. And I mean, now it's probably faded too. But those early seasons are almost hard to watch sometimes, or I don't think it's very good. So I don't think that was its heyday. That's why I didn't. But
no, I agree with that. I agree when it became more like aggressive, like whether politically or having other, like, it would take more chances with things, like more. But we're not picking it first either. I think if that was its heyday, it'd probably be number 1 or number 2. Maybe not number 1, but number 2 or number 3.
Yeah, no, it was on my list, and that probably would have been. It would have been one of my last 2 picks for sure. So,
yeah.
All right. Yeah. We're kind of getting to the bottom here a little bit. There's a couple that I'm kind of thinking. I'm just not sure which way I want to go on some of these. I'm going to go in the spirit of us having somewhat of a sports podcast. A classic from the very late 80s and went through almost through the 90s, all the 90s. Very high 90s density quotient. I'm going to go with Coach. Coach was a great show about a coach that I think he was the Hawkeyes, right? He was the Hawkeyes coach.
Yeah.
Hayden Fry, or maybe that's the actual coach.
And I think that was his name in the show too. I think it was Coach Fry. I don't know if it was Hayden.
Yeah.
Hayden Fox.
Hayden Fox, I think is what. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's all right. But the best character on there was the assistant coach, right?
Was it Dumphy or no? I
don't know what his name was, but he was funny.
It's not Duber or Dauber.
Oh, yeah, Dauber. The other guy too, the older guy.
Oh yeah. They're all good. Yeah.
They're both those assistant. They're better than.
Was it? I thought. Yeah, maybe it was based off of the Iowa coach, but you're right. I think it may have been Minnesota, but that's a good point.
Oh yeah, he's right. Yeah.
I love that show. That was a great show, though.
That hurts your pick, though. You didn't know the school. I think that hurts the pick, but it's still a good show.
Please, how many episodes of Simpsons have you watched? Very few.
I've not. I don't think that's true. I've watched a lot. I'm more of a Family Guy than Simpsons, but I don't think Family Guy wasn't on in the 90s, so that doesn't.
It's a better show.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was a good show. One of my favorite is when they had like the great quarterback or something. It was like kind of a prelude to what happened like later on. Like they had this all-star quarterback that was like just wanted to get away with everything, and then of course in the typical 90s fashion, like he's like, you're cut from the team, which is totally would not happen in real life. But
yeah.
Yes, Jerry Van Dyke was the
he was funny. Very funny character.
Dauber and that guy were both hysterical.
I felt like that character was very similar to
coach from
Cheers, right?
Yeah, very similar.
Very similar character. I don't know if it wasn't the same guy, I'm sure, but very similar.
No. That's true because that was I don't know. They must have like kind of. It was almost the same exact character, so I feel like maybe the two of those guys were almost the same exact as like Woody and.
You need like a buffoon sort of creating some comedic humor on the sideline. That's your role in this podcast, Eddie.
Right. Except I pick everything right all the time.
Yeah. All right, let me get to a segment here.
Find of the week.
Cut me off.
Right. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
My last pick's going to be maybe not out of the blue, but it's going to be an interesting one.
All right. So this is, I haven't been picking in a few weeks. I'm getting out there tomorrow in the cold in the flea market, but this is actually a death pile find. And this is a piece.
What's a death pile?
Oh, you never heard that phrase? So death pile, a reseller phrase for like basically our whole warehouse, like a giant stock of unlisted inventory that you've accumulated.
Okay.
That's a death pile. Yeah. So this is a piece I knew I had. I bought this like 5 years ago. Very cool piece. I'm going to show you it and share the screen here. Let me get to that first.
Also, I wasn't sure if you saw that.
Come on. Dan, have you seen Get a Life, Dan?
Do yourself a favor. Don't.
So this is, I bought this jersey at auction like 5 years ago. I knew it was a high-end jersey, spent tons and tons of time at researching it. And it's a Veracruz Blues or Veracruz Azules Mexican League 1944 game-worn baseball uniform.
Wow, that's cool.
And that was a league that had a lot of Negro League Hall of Famers in it, had a lot of big-name players who played in the summers or off-season. They would go down in the off-season and play in that league. And it has the number on back. And I'll show you some of the players. Let me share this screen. So Rogers Hornsby, one of the best hitters of all time, played in the 20s and 30s. He was a player manager for this team. You can see him wearing that exact same style jersey in this image.
That's cool. Yeah.
And also this guy here, Willie Wells. Wells, he was a Negro League Hall of Famer. Martin DeHigo, Josh Gibson, Negro League legends, all played for this team. So, but the challenge for me is I can never find a roster that lists the numbers. I still haven't. I still never found a roster like shows like number 12 was this guy, number 19 was this guy.
Yeah.
So I could prove it was Rogers Hornsby, or was it Willie Wells? Was it really not a big name player, right? So I had this uniform. I brought it to a national like 4 years ago, brought it to a national 2 years ago, and then put it in a tote. I had a bunch of totes in our warehouse that I brought home from a national a year and a half ago, never touched, forgot about. And I was going through it because I had an order I couldn't find. And I was looking through there and I found this uniform and I forgot I had it. And it had gotten to the point where I emailed via translation a Mexican library to go through archives, see if they could figure it out for me. Never could figure out. So I gave up trying to figure out what player wore it. I just listed it. Right. And I listed it for a high number because it's a rare uniform.
Yeah.
Here's the listing. So I listed it for $4,000 best offer. So that's my death pile find. I knew I had it, forgot I had it, decided to stop. I have a lot of research projects like that I know I'll never be able to find the exact,
the funny thing that you bring that up is it's kind of, I feel like that's an often overlooked, like part of how you actually are profitable and make a lot of money from this is because you put in the work to figure out like who it was and stuff like that. Like the value of something like that. I mean, if this turns out to be Rogers Hornsby or somebody, one of those all-time greats, you probably sell it for 3 or 4 times that, right? Maybe not.
Yeah. No, I think so. I mean, if it was Hornsby, I think it would be 8,000 to 12,000 or some of the big. I mean, the big name, Josh Gibson, Martin DeHigo, didn't play on this year, so it wouldn't be them. But Willie Wells was a pretty big name player as well. So Yeah, that would help it. But again, if I get an offer close to that price, I'm happy with that too.
Time to move it. Yeah.
This came in a private collection of a huge collector who was actually on the Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band album cover. He was a New York artist, Richard Merkin.
Okay.
He was friends with John Lennon. So he was a big Negro League and like Latin America collector. So that came out of his collection.
Very cool.
Yeah. So I figured I'd share that. Not I didn't find that per se, but it's still a find.
Yeah.
I found it a long time ago. Yeah.
All right. That's good. That's cool. Jersey. It's I'm sure that those don't come along every day.
No.
Yeah. You know how to dig at me. Roman. All right. So we're doing our final picks, right?
Yeah. And we'll do, Mark. I'll shoot you an image of it for sure. That's in my eBay store now too, so you can probably pull it up, but I'll reach out to you. Appreciate that. Let me get back to the draft board here. Is it me or you?
It's me. It's finishing up. It's a wraparound. There's a couple that could fit in here. For me, Coach, I think I like, because I think I just like the show. This may be one of my favorite shows from that era. Has a perfect density quotient of it was not around for a long time. It was only around for 5 years. So it's around from 1990 to 1995. So it's 100% density 90s density quotient, which is what we're looking for when we're picking. Not an American show though. Where do you think I'm going with this? Do you have any idea?
No, but can you give me like a location?
It's English. You may not.
No, I like a lot of British comedies, but not in this era. I don't think it'd be a little bit later.
So one of my favorite shows and one of the all-time great shows, I think, Mr. Bean.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, of course, yeah, I love Mr. Bean.
Starring Rowan Atkinson, only around for 5 seasons. One of the best actors. One of the best comedic actors. Way better than your.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's like a mime too, right? It's hard to be a comedic.
Oh yeah, he's amazing.
He's the perfect physical comedian. Yeah, to be honest, I didn't even consider that. That's a strong pick. I think it lost me the draft.
I can't believe.
I love Mr. Bean.
I know. I cannot believe you didn't take it.
Oh, and my son loved Mr. Bean too. We still watch Mr. Bean.
I knew if you didn't pick it, this was going to be a dagger to your heart. I do know that you like Mr. Bean. So yeah, that's probably one of my proudest picks. To really, actually, I got you on both ends. I got you on Seinfeld and Mr. Bean. I couldn't have.
Yeah, that is nasty. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, to me, it doesn't. I know it is, but it doesn't strike me as like a sitcom because it's sort of like it is. I'm not saying it's not, but it has no cast other than him, right? And it's like, it's almost more like sketch comedy, but it's not. I know it's not, but
it had a theme throughout the whole thing. It's I mean, sitcom is a situational comedy, and that's what it was.
I think it sort of continues through the course. I guess it's very similar to Seinfeld, right? Like, there's not a whole lot of continuity. Through most of these shows, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was also in Blackadder, which I think was an earlier show. I feel like that was maybe in the 80s or something like that. Rowan Atkinson is just a great comedian, though.
I
know. Listen. I'm doing my due diligence. I'm finding the winners. I'll admit Keith kind of served it up on a silver platter the first couple, so I didn't have to dig deep. But I had to throw a banger at the end. So Keith, so what's your one? What do you got for me? Can't wait to hear what show you have.
Well, there's a lot of them still on the list, but a lot of we'll get into some honorary mentions, right? But,
for sure.
I'm going out of order on my draft board.
I mean, you might as well
it doesn't matter at this point, right?
You might as well Hail Mary this one.
I'm going to go with Martin Lawrence.
Okay.
Remember that show, Martin Lawrence? There was a short run.
Martin.
Yeah, I know. Short run, but I mean, he's a great comedian. And like that, I remember his neighbor, is it Shanae or what's her name?
Shanae.
Shanae.
It was Jamie Foxx, right?
Maybe Maybe it was Jamie Foxx. It was Jamie Foxx.
Oh, he doesn't even know his show.
No, I haven't seen it in a long time. That's not in reruns or anything. But I'm going to go with Martin. I got to watch it again because I haven't seen it in a long time. But I think there's some other shows that people would choose over that. Oops.
Yeah, it was funny. I mean, Martin Lawrence was pretty funny back then. Yeah, I mean, it was good. It was definitely a good show.
Yeah, you don't see it on reruns or anything like that, right? But
not that much. No,
maybe because of the neighbor. Maybe that's a little off-putting. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, no, it had a good. I can't remember. I mean, it's Martin Lawrence, and I think that was Jamie Foxx.
It's maybe Jamie Foxx or it was Martin Lawrence playing. Yeah. I think it might be Martin Lawrence. I think Jamie Foxx played a similar character on maybe in Living Color.
I think you're right. It might be right.
Yeah, it's one or the other. We can figure that out after the fact. But yeah, that's that. I like my board.
Does that sound right? I don't think that sounds very accurate.
No, I'm not very confident on that one. I think I need to win the first pick at some point because that really set you up. That set you up because I mean I think.
Well, yeah, you would have liked your picks better because you would have gone Seinfeld. I would have gone. I probably would have gone Friends, Married with Children though. So I would have probably taken that.
Yeah. So yeah. So I would have been Seinfeld, Married with Children.
No, you would have been Seinfeld King. I would have taken Seinfeld or I would have taken Friends and Married with Children. I think.
Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah, I forgot it was a snake. Yeah, okay.
Potentially, right. I may have gone for Simpsons. Simpsons, I think, was a pretty good pick actually. It just didn't fit what I was looking for. But.
So, yeah, maybe the Simpsons might get me some votes in the people. I don't feel confident in the people voting for me in this one. But
tough one.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people. I mean, the Home Improvement Coach not going to win you a lot of votes. I know it's a tough call on those spots, but
I mean, like how many? What else are you looking at there? I mean,
Simpsons going to win me some votes there.
Yeah, I might have just picked Get a Life. That was not really on my list, but it was going to be potentially just to mess with you, just to like, take away your heart.
That's a homework assignment for everyone in the chat. To watch an episode of Get a Life and report back to me next episode.
Yeah. You're gonna get a lot of hate mail.
I'll try to figure out which one's the best one. There's one with like an alien that's pretty good. There's one where he builds a submarine in his bathtub, which is quality.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
No, I mean, Roman, in my defense and Keith's defense, like Seinfeld will get number one regardless. So I was even potentially saying that we do like a 90s sitcom without like Seinfeld and Friends in it. Like, and you like remove those two, and that then it makes it a little more interesting because then I think you have to actually pick.
I think I remember that show, Dan. It was that's similar to Married with Children. I think it had a little bit of a Married with Children vibe, I believe.
I don't remember that.
Like the father might have been somewhat similar to Al Bundy.
Interesting.
I haven't seen it forever, but.
All right. So do we want to hit one more?
And then let's do one more sale of the week,
and then we'll do a recap and maybe a couple more because there's definitely 3 or 4 more honorary mentions on there.
Absolutely.
Sale of the week.
All right, let's get rid of that draft board. I don't want to see that anymore. I think I have. You have one more, Annie?
I do. Do you want me to put that up, or do you want to?
No, I'll go because I think I have 2. We'll do them quick. Where are we at? I have a good one for next week for you because I do it Sunday to Sunday. So
gotcha.
All right. So this is a pair of dead stock football pants, 1940s, Rawlings brand, size 36. And I will say larger size is always better for like early stuff like this. People were smaller then typically, so you don't see it as much. The funny thing with these, when I bought a storage unit from a friend of mine, he had 2 boxes of these sealed that he bought on eBay, never opened the boxes, still had like the receipt taped inside. I'm like, what? He bought them, never even opened the boxes. How did he even know it was in there?
Yeah.
So, but these were never sold. Yeah. These were dead stock, never sold.
So this is one pair, right? And is that what that's
yeah,
my
I'm sorry,
that,
one pair of pants. Yeah, just what you see.
And for what's the timing again?
1940s Rawlings.
Okay. I think now that you say Rawlings is probably a pretty good brand for this. Feel free if anybody has any guesses on this one, but I don't think these are like thousands of dollars. I think these are probably like mid to upper $100, meaning 150 to 200 ish range is my guess. If that, they may even be lower than this. And these are not game worn, right? These are just kind of.
These are never used by anyone. These are dead stock.
That may push it up a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna go a little higher than I said there. I'm gonna go 215 as my guess on these. Probably way off, but these are tough for me. Pennants I can handle. Sometimes.
Yeah, this is out of your wheelhouse for sure. Yeah, let me find something here.
I don't know. I don't like this where this is going.
Little roller up along first, behind the bag.
All right.
You bucknered that one. Let me find the other screen.
Is it way higher?
No, a lot less.
Oh.
You overshot it.
Yeah, I was kind of worried about that.
Yeah, that's good. That's not a bad guess. I mean, yeah, if they were earlier, if they were like 1910, that would be higher than you said. But if they were they had a lot of use, they'd be in your price range.
Yeah,
dead stock, they'd be a lot more. But yeah, these are 40s. They're not terribly uncommon. I still have a ton of these in the warehouse. I love selling this kind of stuff. So once I sell it, pop one down, photograph it, put in the same SKU. There's already one back up. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I mean, I should have. I didn't. I thought they'd be over $100 for sure, but now that you say that makes a little more sense, or makes sense.
Yeah, and before you pick yours, Andy, or go to yours, let me do this. Let me share this screen. I'm gonna just do the giveaway that I talked about.
Oh yeah, before everybody.
Yeah, well, people are still here. Let's see. So everyone in the chat that I saw in the chat, I put your name in the spinning wheel. If I missed anyone, if you see it, let me know. But I think I got everyone. I'm going to give away a pair of unopened wax packs. We have Batman and Alf. Alf, if he was a little bit later, probably would have been on the draft board, I think.
Definitely would have, right?
Yeah.
He was, I think it ended in 90, right? Isn't that?
Yeah, exactly. March 90. So it could have got on there, but it would have been.
Sound for like 3 episodes.
Yeah. So let's see who takes this.
If it's me, if I win again, I don't know.
Well, you're not on there, Andy.
I know,
on there.
but I win all these things. So. Alex G looks like.
Alex G. All right. Alex G.
Who's in the
yeah, they were in on the earlier stream. So hopefully they Alex, if you watch on the rewatch, reach out to me on Instagram, same name on Instagram, Vintage Sport Flips. And I will get these in the mail to you. Obviously shipping's on me, but thank you. I'll send a message to them if I can find them.
Cool.
All right.
Final one. Let's see if I can do this without giving you the price. Okay.
I got a little band pennant, eh? A little Lincoln Park action. Yeah, a little Lincoln Park action.
Oh boy.
You like Lincoln Park?
That's now you see why you can't be a good judge of comedy. But
no, come on. Yeah, I can't think of a Lincoln Park song right now. I was Lincoln Park.
Is numb? You become so numb or something like that? Anyway,
it doesn't sound
right. All right. So Lincoln Park, which is a zoo, apparently, I guess, or has at least a zoo portion there in Chicago. Probably a little bit earlier than I think some of our stuff. I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is probably closer to the 40s than maybe the 50s. It's a little bit of a different size than typical, so those are usually kind of, I think, indicative of a slightly earlier pennant.
Man, I like the fancy words, indicative. I like it. I like it.
That's what I do. That's what I do, man.
Yeah, but Dan's from Chicago area, so
okay, nice.
Free zoo. That's cool.
But yeah, I think another thing I think about these pennants that is good is like the animal. Anytime you have animals on them, like I always try to list as many as I can because people just kind of randomly like stuff about that.
Yeah, zoo pennants are good, especially early ones. They people, decorators like them, right? People like to hang that stuff on their wall. I actually brought a bunch of pennants home for Mrs. Flip to photograph, a bunch of zoo pennants. They're not early. They're like later ones, Philadelphia Zoo.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, this is an early one. I would say 30s, 40s, probably 40s. I don't know when that zoo opened. That would probably help to know the time frame of it. But let's see. I'm gonna guess $39.99. We had 79 in the chat, man. Dan came in strong at $199. I should have waited on his guess because he's from that area. So I should have waited a second. But $39.99, I'm gonna guess.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Streak. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, let me present to what the actual cost was, or the sale price was.
I need some sort of special
I know
video for that. Oh,
impressive.
You're gonna kind of poppers in your like a.
I don't. I'm sorry, unfortunately, but yeah, he was right on the money. I'll give him credit for that. He nailed it.
Yeah, all right. The King of Pennants got it. The real King of Pennants. No, but I'm happy this week. Well, you have one more to guess, but I don't think you've got any. You were dominating me in this part of the.
I was, yeah. You threw some things at me that I hadn't seen before, so I can get most of the pennants. Well, maybe not most. There's a small window of being correct on some of these too. So,
all right,
interesting. Okay,
so what we have here is a piece of sheet music, Andy. Sheet music. Do you know what? It's for a school. Do you know what school this is? The Maroons.
It's not the Pottsville. I mean, it's either Pottsville Maroons or it's the.
It's a college. College.
Is it Harvard?
No. We see the one thing that might give you an idea. It's not Harvard. It's the C on their chest. Yeah.
Then wait, hold on. Is it? It's not Columbia or something, right? I don't know. Yeah.
That's all right. It's a team that doesn't have a football team. A school that doesn't have a football team anymore. So I showed a piece from them earlier in the stream, but it's University of Chicago.
Gotcha.
University of Chicago Maroons. Colgate was a good guess. That's the right color. Colgate or Cornell. That would have been a respectable guess. And he happened to guess an H school, but that's
well, it was just quickly. It was.
It was pressure. I put you under pressure. Yeah. So a piece of sheet music from 1907. 1907. I will tell you, sheet music typically is not a great seller. They produced a lot of it.
Okay.
But content helps. Content helps for some sheet music. So.
I mean, sheet music, like football sheet music? I mean, or are you just talking about sheet music? You're talking about
sheet music in general, right? Okay. I mean, in general. I mean,
because it's a football thing might be a little bit higher. Is that what you're saying? And it has, I mean, are people buying it for the music or are they buying it for like the image on it?
Buying it for the image of it. Like I have one in my collection that's my son's high school band, the marching band plays there at University of Wisconsin, or it's Minnesota. No, Wisconsin's their fight song. So I have one of their sheet music at the house. So people collect them for different reasons.
Gotcha.
I think a lot of people just display them, frame them.
Okay. Well,
Mark's helping you out with a guess there.
I know. I kind of like Mark's guess. I think it's close to that, but I might go a little bit higher. I might go $10. I'm going to go $10 higher. I'm going to go $49.99 on that.
$49.99. All right, let me get to the video board here. Let's see if there are any other guesses come in meanwhile.
I think it's just, it may be lower. I don't know. These types of things, I just don't know. I need a little. Okay. I can't be that far off, right?
Pretty far off. And I was actually, I was running
You're
out.
Underselling it.
I was running out of negative videos in this stream. For you.
Very, very funny.
Let me get to this.
Woof. All right.
Yeah, 125.
Well, you can't. I mean, here's the problem. You're underselling it. Like sheet music doesn't sell for very much.
I know, but I was being honest. I mean, this one performed a little bit better than most, but I didn't want to like give people the impression that sheet music does great. I have a lot of football sheet music that doesn't sell at all. I never even try to sell it, but it's early stuff. If it has a cool graphic on it, a cool, good school.
Gotcha.
I didn't want to lead you down the wrong path there, but
I think you did though. I think you did it intentionally, but
no, definitely not intentional.
All right. Well, cool.
But I think you're 0 for 5 today, right, Andy? Is that
I did not have a good. Hey, listen, I was focused on my draft. So what can I say?
I got it. Dan got it. He did the typo the first time, but he got it.
There you go.
Yeah, 0 for 5. What was I? 1, 4, 3, 1 and 2. One.
No, I had 3. I put 3 up there. So
yeah, but I won 1, lost 2.
Yeah,
I win. Okay.
Yeah,
pretty good. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Well, one thing I know you're not happy with is the draft board.
I'm happy with I gotta go with my heart.
So,
all right, I gotta sleep at night.
We have a few minutes, maybe. Let's say, what else was on your list that was potentially? I mean, there was a couple I feel like that could have gone, but I just wasn't as big of a fan of them.
Yeah, I mean, the two big ones that I think that other people would have chosen that my wife loves this one, Roseanne.
Yeah, that was on my list.
Roseanne is similar to Married with Children that sort of broke a lot of barriers and had a little more risque humor, and that should have been on the list. I just wasn't a huge fan. My wife will still watch that like Saturday mornings, and I'm like, oh God, save me.
Well, they remade it too. I mean, a couple times.
Yeah. I definitely don't watch the modern stuff, but and then the other one, we might have alluded to this earlier. I still watch this. My wife has this on every night, right before King of Queens, but Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, that was on my list too.
Yeah, there's some good characters in it. I just find at times that show, all they're doing is like yelling at each other, right? Like I feel like I'm at a family Christmas party where they're yelling at each other. Like not that my family fights at Christmas, but
no, that's true.
Yeah, it's not like a pleasant show at times, but
so that one, I think that was on my list. I was actually potentially going to take that Everybody Loves Raymond over Coach, or in that range, or would have been one of my last picks, put it that way. But there are a couple that we missed, I will say before we go. Frasier. I didn't. That's not my favorite show. I didn't think it was all that great. But it was. I mean, I think it's highly regarded.
People love it. Yeah, it's definitely highly rated. I'm the same way. The humor is a little dry for me compared to like classic Get a Lifestyle humor with physical comedians.
So another one I got, Cheers, which just tipped into it. It was like 3 years into the 90s, but again, those 3 years were not the heyday of Cheers. Like Cheers would be my probably 1 or 2, if not. If it was a 90s show,
if we do an 80s one, that would be different. Different.
Well, or if it was like predominantly in the 90s, like the heyday, I think that would have been either 1 or 2 for me.
Yeah.
And we missed and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air too. So
I had that on my list. I had that 9 on my list. And then the other one I had that I liked it. And it probably wouldn't make many people's list, but Third Rock from the Sun. I always liked John Lithgow.
Was that like the tail end though? Oh, Perfect.
I don't think Perfect Strangers. Was that 90s?
I think may have been like started. That was one of Keith's favorite shows too, isn't it?
I had a buddy like
that's right.
George growing up. George was infatuated with Balky Bartakamus. Yeah. I liked it. It was a good show.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite.
That's probably similar to it was probably like late 80s to early 90s, but maybe not long in the early 90s.
Yeah. But Fresh Prince was great because that has 100% density quotient.
Yeah, I had that in there. I mean, that's probably I had between Martin and Fresh Prince when I made that pick. You didn't like Third Rock from the Sun? I thought that was pretty good.
I never really watched it, and I actually kind of would have thought that was more 2000s, honestly. But
no, it's almost all 90s. I can look it up again, but I think that
very well could be. But yeah, I never watched it, to be honest. I always thought it seemed like it was later. But yeah,
funny premise where they're like aliens. You know the premise of it?
Yeah, they were aliens, but they were trying to assimilate and stuff like that.
Yeah,
weren't they? Yeah,
96 to 2001. So that had a very strong 90s density quotient there.
Don't be stealing you're stealing my. I might have each week I might have a new quotient or a new index to use to further my picks. Hey, it worked this time. Clearly, look at my draft board. So,
yeah, I gave you the layup picking King of Queens there. I mean, that hurt me. I should have taken Friends, and I still got King of Queens in the next and Get a Life. It wouldn't have affected the rest of my board. So
that's true.
It was an error in judgment there of the draft, but I still will probably win because I think there's probably a lot of closet Get a Life lovers out there that
not
the many people who vote on our polls.
But great, cool.
Yeah. So guys, we're gonna do the best tirades in sports history, or our favorite tirades in sports. There's a lot of good ones, right? And we, instead of doing clips, we're gonna try to reenact them a bit, at least when we can.
I'm not sure how we're gonna do that, but okay.
We'll talk about it. We'll have a pre-production meeting on that one. So let me get rid of this. All right. Well, that's anything else, Danny? That's gonna wrap it up. I think
that's good. It's good. See you next week, and hopefully I'll be wearing a Lions gear again.
Yeah, we'll be gearing up for the playoffs for next week. So
that's right.
Yeah,
very true.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, we had a lot of people in chat. So thanks everyone for being here. Appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.